What's up, everybody? Well, today I'm here to bring to you another vacuum that's in my vacuum collection, and this time it is another Oreck. What I have here is a Oreck XL Classic. This is probably one of the two most common variants of the XL Classic, besides that dark blue one. But this one has quite an interesting story, for me at least. I will never forget when I was very little that one of my dad's best friends actually had one of these. It was like the most basic Oreck you can get. It had no helping hand handle or handle mounted power switch, no headlight, none of that. It was just basic Spartan, no frills Oreck. I never got to use it though, but I really do remember seeing that vacuum hidden all the way in the back of their bedroom when I was over at their house years ago. And that vacuum never left me though. Or any vacuum I remember from childhood, that even those I never got to actually use or run. So this one does have a special place for me. So naturally I just had to include it as part of my vacuum collection. So here I have one of the XL Classics that I remember from childhood. It's your basic no frills Oreck with the most basic as it gets. So let's go ahead and give a walkthrough of the machine now that you got to know my backstory. So right up here you do have your nice little rubber handle grip. It's not a helping hand handle, but I honestly like these handle designs better. The helping hand handle does work for people with arthritis, but I've always liked the vacuuming position of these old ones a little bit better than the helping hand handle. Those took me some getting used to. And as you can see right here, there's my awful attempt at trying to remove the original sticker that was on this, which this I actually got from a pawn shop for admittedly more than I should have got this for, but I just had to include it, so it was worth spending the extra for all those childhood memories. So yeah, lousy attempt to try to remove the original sticker off, and unfortunately I scratched the handle trying to get it off because I was using a flathead screwdriver. Not my best move, but hey, we live and learn. But anyway, back to the handle. I love the vacuuming position of this, a little bit better than the helping hand handle. But one thing I never noticed until now is that this little white cover that's attached to the back of the handle, that I'm not too sure, but my correlation is it prevents the rubber grip from sliding off over time. Nice touch of detail that I never noticed until now. So as we move along down here, you do have your basic outer bag here with your traditional diagonal Oreck lettering that says "Simply Amazing" on the front. And this being one of the lower end models, it doesn't have the best filtering outer bag material. That's unlike the C-Lock Hypoallergenic Plus that they would eventually go into making in later years. So let's go and unzip this, get access to your inner bag. So right here is the inner bag. It's an Oreck CC bag, and it's attached to a bag dock here on the back here that you just unhinge off and pull forward. And this is how the dock sits. And how to use it, you basically just, when you're done, you will simply just pull it off the bag dock, and you will have here a little latch or a little slider that pops down and it grabs hold of this little tab that sticks out on the bottom. And as you do it, it'll pull a little tab door that pulls a trap door shut on the front of the collar, so no dust leaks out of the bag, which is very clever and designed for Oreck to come up with back then. how much do you hate emptying out a bag because it just puffs dust back into the air you breathe? So I find this a very clever design because it solves the problem of dust popping back into the air. So it goes back on. You just simply just, oh, come on. It'll just simply, if you align it back up properly, just align the two plastic tabs here, up like that, and it'll just latch back in place. And you just tuck it back away, and then you just zip up the bag. And the bag is very large. That is one thing I love about these Orecks, is that their outer bags are super large. You could fill a whole lot of dirt with these guys. So as we move along down here, you got your basic Oreck XL Classic lettering on the top of the hood. And you do have your belt viewing window. Well, technically it's not a viewing window, but it's an access door. That's the word I was looking for. The belt access door. It's held in by a single Phillips screw. You just unscrew that, and this will slide forward so you can get access to your belt if you need to change it out. Very clever and designed for Oreck to do this, to make it easier to change the belt, because back in the day you had to pop off the whole bottom plate off just to get to the belt. So this is much more convenient. You just slide that off and change your belt, and you're good to go. If any of you who are willing to put forth the effort to change the belt, which I think you should, because Oreck put this for the consumer to change their own belt so they don't have to take it into a vacuum shop all the time. And also right back here, you do have your foot-operated power switch thing for the old lower-end Orecks right here. It does feel kind of nice compared to the handle-mounted switch. And now let's go ahead and flip this thing underneath to show you the brush roll. As any classic Oreck that I get, I always like to throw in a brand new brush roll just because these are a wear item. So it's always nice to have that peace of mind that it's a brand new brush roll, because the bristles on these are not very stiff. They are very soft even. So the cleaning performance of this is not fantastic, but it's not awful either. I've seen other brush rolls that have very sparse bristles and do not agitate the carpet very well. This produces very little agitation, but it's not enough to get deep down into the carpet fibers. If there's any redeeming qualities I would say that this brush roll has, that is the bristles are super dense, meaning they're so close together that this does excellent as far as picking up things like pet hair and a bunch of other fine particles. So that is nice, and it is a chevron style roller that'll funnel everything down into that center suction path down there, and it does do pretty good in that sense. And as you can see, you do have rear wheels or wheels behind the brush roll, which is a thing on the later style base plates. And I think I might have to fix this little rubber squeegee right here that's caught underneath this screw. That won't be too difficult of a fix, but I just noticed that. But it's not the end of the world. But you do have some edge cleaning brushes here on the side. Very typical of an Oreck, because they put these there for, quote, edge cleaning. If anything, it dusts off like built up dust on baseboards over time, but it doesn't really do fantastic in edge cleaning. So very nice. And of course this has the two metal ingest bars to prevent anything from getting dragged into the brush roll should you pick up any large obstruction. And you have your model number right here that I will go ahead and show you. This is model XL2330HS. The dark blue one was XL2310. The serial, if anyone knows how to serial date these, please let me know. I want to say this vacuum was made in 2008, but I could be wrong on that. Please let me know. I'm just going by the first 2 digits, which I believe decode the year. 08 would mean, obviously, put that as 2008 if I'm going by that logic. And 120 volts, 60 hertz. It's a 4 amp motor, so unfortunately this was not the biggest motor in the vacuum industry. But since this vacuum is a direct air design, that does make up for some lost power. And this, as you can see, was made in the Cookeville, Tennessee plant, just shortly after the New Orleans plant got destroyed by the hurricane. Forget which one, but yep, this is actually one of the later Orecks that was made in the Cookeville, Tennessee plant. They're still thankfully in the USA, so I can't hold it too much against it. But yeah, that is something to point out for later production Orecks, is that they were later made in Cookeville, Tennessee because the New Orleans plant got destroyed. So anyway, let's go ahead and give this guy a run since you guys have been waiting so impatiently to see. So let's go ahead and release the cord. Unfortunately, since this doesn't have a quick release, you have to unravel it the old-fashioned way. And so we will go ahead and plug this guy in. And we will go ahead and turn this thing on and give you guys a quick run. Now, typical Oreck classic fashion, this thing is pretty loud when it's running, so headphone users, I would advise turning down your volume for this portion of the video. So, here we go. Nice. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the Oreck XL Classic. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.